Okay, so you guys really like the last tier list video I did, where I did a tier list video of the different Hokages in Naruto. So because you guys like that so much, today we'll be doing something a bit similar, but instead of the Hokages, we're going to be doing a tier list of the villages in Naruto instead. This video we won't be tier listing all the different villages in Naruto. A few other YouTubers have done videos to this similar in the past. Most of them actually leave out some of the villages from the show, so I actually try to do my best to be pretty thorough, so hopefully I didn't leave any ones out. If I did, I'm sorry. Comment them down below and I'll make sure to mention them in a future video. That's about it. Let's get into it. Also, I'll mention we'll be ranking primarily based off of the strength of the people there. We will be including other factors like location, politics, culture, etc. But the strength of like the members of the village and the people there and stuff is going to be the primary thing we're going to be talking about in today's video. I'll start off the video by talking about the village where most of the show takes place in, Konoha, aka the Leaf Village. And I feel like most of you guys can probably guess where this is going. I'm putting them in S tier. Literally 90% of the strong ninjas in the show, if not higher, are from Konoha. Every generation they have a new god tier level legend. Can't really find a good argument why not to put them in S tier, to be honest. Next we have up is the Hidden Stone, and in my personal opinion, I think the Hidden Stone village is low-key a little bit underrated. I think they're stronger than both the Sand and the Mist. And it might sound jarring to some of you guys because the Hidden Sand and the Hidden Mist do get more highlights and more moments talked about throughout the show, but I feel like the Hidden Stone low-key has stronger people. Like, I think a lot of you guys are forgetting how strong the second and third Tetsukage are. I'm probably saying that wrong, but Inoki and the second Kage before him in the stone, they are super strong. And then Deidara is also from the Hidden Strong and he's OP as hell. Remember, Gaara, not the Hokage, but I forgot what it's called, but the Kage of the Sand Village literally lost to Deidara. So, like I said, strength-wise, I low-key feel like they have to be above at least the Sand Village. The Hidden Mist you can make an argument for, but we're going to talk about them in a little bit. As for where we're going to rank the Hidden Stone, I'm going to put them in B tier. Like, there's some things I like about it, but overall nothing that stands out too crazy to me. Also, there's some villages on here that I think are a bit more interesting and I like just a little bit more. And of course, have stronger ninjas. But anyways, next up we have the Hidden Sand, and you guys just heard me said that I feel like the Hidden Stone is better than the Hidden Sand. And that's going to lead me in my next little mini rant. I low-key feel like the Hidden Sand village is overrated as fuck. Like, first of all, it's ugly. Second of all, it's in the middle of the desert and almost nothing goes on over there. Third of all, there's only like 4 strong people from the Hidden Sand I can name off the top of my head, and Gaara's trio are 3 of them. Now I know this is gonna piss all 7 fans of the Hidden Sand off, but I honestly just don't give a fuck. You trying to tell me your favorite village is carried by sand and puppets? You serious, my nigga? Like, I legitimately do not know why the Hidden Sand would be your favorite village when there's cooler villages with, like, stronger ninja. Like, if the Hidden Sand's your favorite village in Naruto, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not trying to hate on you. I just don't understand that. But whatever floats your boat, I guess. And I am exaggerating and just being a hater. There are actually some strong people there, and it's not actually that bad of a village. But I just feel like it's not really as good as, obviously, Konoha or the Hidden Stone. So I'm going to put it in C tier. I just feel like the Hidden Sand gets too much unnecessary glaze purely because of Gaara. Next up, we have the Village of the Hidden Clouds, and the Village of the Hidden Clouds is actually underrated. Perfect Jinchurikis, the fastest ninjas with the exception of the 4th and 2nd Hokages. Like, I think people forget how strong the Hidden Cloud actually is. Of the major village, they're the 2nd strongest and it's not even close. Don't get me wrong, they're nowhere near Konoha, but they're closer than anyone else. The Hidden Cloud is going in S tier. For the next village, we have the Hidden Mist. And the Hidden Mist definitely has some heavy hitters to it. We've all definitely heard of the iconic 7 ninja swordsmen of the Smith, fucking, y'all know what I mean. I feel like they get hyped up a lot, but when you actually go through their track record, you kind of realize that they're actually low-key a little bit sorry. Like, don't get me wrong, they're definitely super strong, but they're nowhere up there with Konoha and the Cloud. One thing I wanted to talk about is they must clearly have their focuses on something other than ninja work. Cause look at this picture, bro. Like, look at this picture of the hidden mist in Boruto. And now look at pictures of the other villages in Naruto. Why is it so advanced compared to the other villages? Like, in Naruto, you definitely can see how all of the places got a little bit more advanced. Like, you can see that in Konoha a little bit too, with some of the new taller buildings, the trains, like the inventions, etc. But it still doesn't look like this, bro. This literally looks like Japan. And honestly, I'm fucking with it. It looks cool. I'm gonna give them an A for aura. And that's all of the major villages in Naruto. Next, we'll start talking about some of the smaller, little bit less insignificant villages. They might have still been significant to this story, but they're not one of the major Kage villages. We're gonna start with the Hidden Rain. I've always thought the Hidden Rain has had a really cool aesthetic compared to the other villages. It's unfortunate though, because the Hidden Rain has gotten ravaged by war over and over again. Another sad fact being that almost all of the strong ninjas from the Hidden Rain are actually dead. And it's just really unfortunate because the Hidden Rain seems like it could have such an interesting story told about its village and about its history and about the events that's happened there, with it being taken over, liberated, and taken like treated as a proxy state between the wars between the other places. But we don't really get to see that in Naruto, and it's a shame, and I really wish it got more screen time and they explained that more. Like, you could honestly give the Hidden Rain its own show or its own movie, and I really think people would watch that because there's a lot of interesting things that they could write about and talk about. Anyways, that's a topic for another time. I could make a whole video talking about things that Naruto universe should expand on more. The Hidden Rain is going in D tier. Next, we have the Village of the Hidden Sound, and the Village of the Hidden Sound is barely even a village. I actually didn't even know what it looked like, because the people that are quote unquote from there, they just like talk about it in the show. They don't actually really show it all that much in the Naruto anime. I had to Google it for this video, and bro, I am fucking dying. Nigga, you call this a village? This is an apartment complex, one house and a few trees on an island. This ain't no village. You could have at least paid Yamato to whip something up better for you, bro. What is this? This lazy ass nigga Orochimaru really just took his crib and started calling it a village and called it a day, bro. This fake ass village going in F tier. Next, we have the village hidden in the eddy, or Uzushoi Ogakuru. I definitely fucked that name up, but I actually forgot what this was at first, or didn't know what it was at first, so I had to look it up. And once I looked it up, I remembered this is basically where the Uzumaki clan used to live, and apparently this is the Uzumaki clan. Those who know of it, obviously, super strong clan, bunch of super heavy hitters known for like special sealing jutsus and stuff like that, and for having an absolute like fuck ton of chakra. And then the Uzumaki clan got wiped out because they were too powerful and people feared them. And apparently this village was known for being like one of the most like stable and longest standing villages, which is like, wow, if this was to be so stable, long standing, and they got wiped out because they were so powerful and like feared by everyone else, why do we like barely ever hear about it in Naruto? When you look it up, there's literally only one picture on Google, and the one picture is the picture of the ruins of the village after it got destroyed. We will never even get to ever see the like village in its prime, or just like a constructed version of the longest existing, or one of the longest existing ever villages in the universe. That doesn't even make any sense. That is one of my major problems with Naruto. Like, that is like a major crazy plot hole. Like, you're telling us at some other point in the show, like, there's so much bullshit filler in Naruto. You couldn't write filler or use any of that time to like write or show off this shit. Anyways, I'm ranting again. Like I said, I could make a whole video ranting about like this topic. But anyways, because we don't really know too much about it, it's kind of hard to rank. But based off what I do know, I'm just gonna put it in C, to be honest. Next, we have the Hidden Waterfall Village, and this village is kind of like confusing to me, because it's like, it seems like it only exists to be a village that a Jinchuriki is from. Like, because when I was like saw it, because I looked up like all of the villages in Naruto because I wanted to make sure I didn't miss any just going off of memory, right? And when I saw the hidden waterfall village, I was like, oh yeah, Jinchuriki's from there. But then I was thinking, I was like, yo, I low-key do not know anything else about this place. Like, I didn't even know what it looks like. So when I got the picture, I was surprised to find out it looks like just like one huge tree, basically. And I go on the Narutopedia page, and like it gives like a very brief like talk about the story, all of which I feel like was never mentioned in the show. Like, I haven't watched Naruto in like over 6 years, so obviously it's a bit foggy in my head, but it's like, bro, I feel like half of these things like that it talked about with like these villages and like the lore behind them and stuff, I was like, I feel like it didn't even mention these in the filler. Like, I do not remember none of it. But anyways, I was reading the Narutopedia page, and yeah, it was like a very brief history of some stuff. And then, but then one of the key points it was talking about the Jinchurikis from there. So it feels like the reason this village exists and the reason they created it in the story is just to be like oh, this is the small village that has a Jinchuriki from there. Because all the other villages are like that's where the tailed beasts reside, in the major villages. Because of all this, I'm gonna put it in E tier. It's better than the hidden sound, but I don't really have a reason to like it. Like the tree, like the design where it's just like with a big tree, that's cool, I guess. Next we have the village of the hidden grass. A few side characters throughout this show have been from there. Karen was from there, I believe. But this is another one, just like the waterfall village, where I feel like it's just such like a kind of just only exists to be a plot device. Because yeah, again, literally only one picture of this village is actually exists, and it's just of like one building, and it's like almost not very much information is available about it online. We just know that Karen's from there, like Orochimaru had a hideout at there at some point, and that it's frequently invaded and taken over by other places, just like the Hidden Rain, which is why I'm gonna put it in the same tier is the Hidden Rain, D tier. Next we have the village hidden in hot water, and this one also just seems like a random plot device for no reason. Like, Hidon, the only significant person from this, and then like this random other dude wearing a headband who we like see once for like one frame in the story. Super insignificant, so we're gonna go with E for insignificant, along with the waterfall village. Okay, so the next village is so insignificant, there's not even a single picture of it on Google or in the show. The village of the Hidden Frost, a single picture of the actual village doesn't exist on Google. So I'm just using a picture of this random frost nigga in a tree. Of course it's going in E for irrelevant. Next we have the village of the Hidden Stars. That was just the village from that one filler arc, if you guys can remember. That filler arc wasn't really that bad. There's been worse, but there's also definitely been better. I'm not gonna put it in E because I actually was able to remember just off the top of my head in my memory who like what it was and who that village was, and like people there and like fights and stuff like that. Or not like that many fights, because obviously it's just like a short filler arc, but you know what I mean. Plus, Village Hidden in the Stars is a cool name, so I'm gonna put it in D tier. Next we have the Tsuchigumo village. I also know I fucked that name up. This one is also pretty insignificant. It's a clan village, which means most of the people that live there are just people in the clan. Not really too much to say about it. Gonna put an E for irrelevant. Though I will say this one is not quite as irrelevant as the others. It's definitely not as relevant as the Frost village, who doesn't even have a picture up. Next we have the Tonka village, and this village, you guys will vlog, you guys probably don't remember it, but it was actually destroyed by Kabuto. And bro, this place just looks fucking evil, bro. Like, this shit just looks evil and sad. Like, this is in the same tier as the Sound Village for all the reasons. It's just even bigger and even worse, even more miserable looking. Also, it might be Tanika or Tanaka. I probably pronounced so many names wrong in this video. I'm so sorry, bruh. Anyways, on to the next. This isn't technically a village, but I still thought I'd give it a mention. Next up, we have the Land of the Waves, which is a small non-ninja country. I thought this would be cool to mention because, you know, in all of the different villages, all the different wars fighting in Naruto, it's cool to have a little non-ninja little nation, you know, just kind of trying to stay out of all the wars and all the fighting and all that. So, you know, I think that's cool and I respect it. So I'm gonna give it a respectable little C tier. Yeah. Not to mention the Land of the Waves, they mention it in the first ever arc of Naruto. I'm not sure if any of you guys remember, so you know, it's in the intro of the show, so you know, I said cool, I'm gonna give it C tier. Obviously, because it's a no ninja country, it's probably super weak, but this is my tier list, I don't care. I can break the rules whenever I want. I've already done it like 3 or 4 times throughout this video, probably. And last and not quite least, the least belongs to the Frost Village for still not having a single picture up. But next we have the Land of the Iron. And Land of Iron, if you've watched Boruto, you know they had that new character that's from there. It's basically a land controlled by samurai and not shinobi or ninjas. And I think it's actually a really cool idea to have a different village in like a different area that's controlled by someone who's not ninjas and controlled by a different type of warrior and a different type of fighter. And I think a potential like war between ninjas and samurai and ninjas could be really cool, or maybe samurai and ninjas work together to help fight against the Otosuki or something like that. I think there's a lot of cool plot points that you could actually pursue for that. We just haven't seen that much about it, so it's kind of hard to rank. But I think there's a lot of cool ideas we've seen it. And also we've only really seen one character from there, so it's obviously very hard to rank off of strength. And we haven't even seen that much of that one character either. So I do feel like introducing like samurais into the Naruto universe though does bring up a bit of confusion, because it's like I feel like they're either gonna need to be sorry as hell, right? And then if they're sorry as hell, right, everyone's just gonna be like, why are these people here? They're weak and they don't really like do anything. But then if they're really strong and like a really important plot point, then people are gonna be like, okay, where were all these samurai before when like the world was ending during like the 4th Great Ninja War? Where were all these samurai before during like all these other like major world events? Like where were they all the way up into this point in the story? So I feel like it's going to be kind of hard to introduce well. I think it's definitely still possible, but it's going to be a bit interesting on how they implement it into the show. But I don't know, we'll see. And we'll put the Land of Iron in B tier because the one character we have seen so far, they've been alright. And I think there is, like I said, I think there's really cool potential for what they could do with it. But yeah, and that's the finished list. So I know a lot of y'all can disagree with me. Feel free to comment down below what you would change. I'm sure there's a lot of things you guys are gonna have your own, or maybe you're, I don't know, maybe you're similar to me, maybe you do agree. But yeah, this is actually the longest non-compilation video I've ever posted on this channel. So I hope you guys enjoy. If you want more longer videos like this that are getting closer to the 20-minute mark, I can definitely do that. Yeah, again, feel free to comment. But yeah, that's about it. Thank you guys for all the support on both the short-term and long-term content. Yo, sorry, I'm so tired, so my talking's fucked up. But yeah, that's about it. Peace.